Hey everyone, Jessica Morrison, realtor with Century 21 Sheets, back with another Indy Home Interviews episode where we talk with a builder this time, DR Horton, and sales representative Davonne Powley. She is in a newer community that is releasing a new section 4, and we're going to learn all about those details. So Davonne, thanks for being brave and coming on this show.
Well, thanks for having me, Jessica. I really appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome. So DR Horton has several communities around Indianapolis. Which one are we talking about today?
Yes, so we are talking about Fairwood, which is actually a Plainfield address, but Avon schools.
Okay. Now, people hear all sorts of things, or maybe some, if they're not from Indy or the West Side, maybe describe the Plainfield and Avon area so that they can appreciate why DR Horton picked this particular location.
Yes, so it's actually a very well-developed, established area, but with lots of growth. And then the beauty is lots of family-friendly communities, but a lot of retail, a lot of restaurants, shopping, things like that, within close proximity, but not intrusive to the family lifestyle.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense and is on par with, I think, most new construction development. They like to put new homes near established things, especially to keep those development costs down. But what kind of price point? Like, let's walk through some of the data.
Sure.
What makes this community special?
Yes. So, probably one of the biggest things about Fairwood that makes it so unique is our very large lot sizes. You're not going to find a lot here under 15,000 square feet, which equates to about a third of an acre. So, that's one of the biggest attractions here. We have several different floor plans that are, fit varying degrees of people's life stages. They are all single family homes here, not a mixed product community or anything like that. But we do have a few ranches and several two-story floor plans, very large homes, actually. I have ranches from 2,300 up to two stories that are over 3,500 square feet.
That's great. Now, are you offering basements?
We do not offer basements. Everything here is on a slab.
Okay. Are you guys, out of curiosity, building anywhere around Indianapolis with basements as a builder?
So at this time, we have just a few, actually, maybe only one home actually left with a lookout basement, and that was in the Canby area.
Okay.
What tends to happen, Jessica, is it usually is a slab just because of the enormous cost of a basement.
Yeah.
And I think, as you probably know, a lot of buyers and consumers don't realize the enormous cost of a basement. And of course, it's much easier to go up than it is to go out or down. Right. So unless the topography or a community would require a basement, we don't, mainly because of that cost. Because, we're building, competitive priced homes, and obviously, homes need to appraise. And to add a basement would put our buyers in a tough spot, right? Because then homes wouldn't appraise.
Yeah, I think my understanding is more about municipalities wanting to attract housing to meet affordability needs, because
Yes, exactly.
when you start to add basements, the prices go up. And
Right.
it's great to have homes at 650 or 400 to 600. I mean, there's definitely, as people age in their homes and move up, they're going to want to expand. And but the challenge with that is home prices appreciate with it. And as we've experienced, interest rates go from 3% to 8%, that effectively doubles your mortgage payment, and is very aggravating
Right.
when you're trying to, make those real estate dreams happen. But yeah, I think it's kind of a not risk benefit, but like what's important right now, and that's getting people into housing. And so have you seen concrete shortage? Sorry, this is kind of a side topic, but like, have you seen concrete shortages or the cost of concrete be like a big part of why basements aren't offered more?
Well, I can't, that's definitely more of a construction type question. But it's kind of interesting because I've come from other cities before I came to Indianapolis. And that was one of my first questions was, there is definitely not as many basements in our area. And that is what I was told, that concrete pricing is an issue, which makes basements here be so much more expensive, and for the reason why builders aren't doing them, because as you said, we want the homes to be affordable, which also hand in hand, like if they're not affordable and they're not appraising with the comps around them, that puts the buyer in a tough spot. So
Sure, well, that's fair. I'm always fascinated when I see new developments come up, and to be a fly on the wall with some of those discussions is fascinating and whatnot. So taking it back to Fairwood, I also wanted to give props to the minimum third of an acre lot situation. There's kind of well, I feel like whenever I show new construction houses, it's like you could bet good money that it's less than a quarter of an acre or 0.19 in lot size, and you really feel it. And I love that there's a lifestyle for everyone available. When it comes to housing products around that, like not everybody needs a big yard, but I love that off the bat, that's something that I do hear a lot when people are considering new construction as being an objection is I don't want a tiny backyard. I don't want to see what my neighbor's doing on their backyard. So maybe walk us through a little bit more of the typography of the area. How many premium lots do you have right now? What do those features include? And yeah, just maybe some favorite upgrades as well.
Yeah, sure. So just to give you a little background on the neighborhood, Fairwood did open in November of 2021. So far, we've closed about 102 homes. We're getting ready, coming up here soon. No definitive date yet, but it's coming. We're anxiously awaiting our section 4, which would be our final section. There'll be 60 lots in that section as well. What's really interesting too is we're going to be launching some new floor plans. My partner Kim and I don't even know what those floor plans are going to be yet, but there are some new floor plans coming in that next section. So that's really pretty cool also. We have some pond lots, we have some wooded lots. Many and most are very nice and flat. We do allow fences here, which a lot of homeowners already have done. To mention, the HOA is very affordable. It's $440 a year. Now, we don't have a pool or a clubhouse or anything like that. But just as much as, people want that, there's other people that don't want that either. And so they would choose not to have it, so they don't feel like they should have to pay for it. So it's very, very affordable. We do have a lovely pavilion, fire pit area, some walking paths, again, the pond, that type of thing. We have a few ranch plans, and like I said, several 2-story plans currently. The new ones that are coming, I'm sure it'll be complimentary. We just don't know what the new ones are going to be, but we're very excited about that.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I love to geek out looking at floor plans, and I'm excited to hear that you have new ones coming. I don't feel like that's very common for a builder to start a community and then switch, or maybe, like, to be fair too, I'm not saying this is a critical thing. Usually, and sometimes maybe this is more for comp purposes, they like to keep things consistent. But I love the adaptability with that, because I would imagine if you had floor plans that weren't selling as much, you can rotate ones in that maybe were not offered in this community, but are best sellers in other communities. So with that being said, do you have a favorite floor plan or one that you sell most often?
Yes. So before I go to that, let me explain just a little bit. So you may be familiar with Westport Homes. So Westport Homes was started here in Indianapolis by the Dunn family. They, it looks like I have somebody coming in here.
Okay, we can pause it for a minute.
Yeah. hang on here.
All right, so we had to pause it because Davonne's busy selling homes and had people walk in. So thanks for the patience here.
Yes.
Davonne was going to explain the transition from Westport Homes with the Dunn family and
Yes.
floor plans.
Yes, yes. So the opportunity arose, and DR Horton purchased Westport, but the Dunn family is still very much involved in running the division and that type of thing. So, so same people, just under a bigger umbrella. So to your point, I wanted to explain why the change in the floor plans. So some of the floor plans are legacy floor plans. And then we'll be moving into introducing some more DR Horton floor plans. So that's the exciting part. Certainly things will all flow aesthetically throughout the neighborhood with elevations and things like that. It will flow. But yeah, so we're excited to see what those will bring. So you asked me what my favorite floor plans are. So as far as a two-story, we have had the Denali floor plan. That's 3,500 plus. Beautiful floor plan. Double-sided fireplace in between the gathering room and the kitchen area. Open two-story entryway, and then the upstairs as well is super open, and that's a 5-bedroom, 3 full bath floor plan. And then my favorite ranch plan is the Grandover 2. It's 2333 square feet, but it feels bigger just because it's super open concept, and it's a split floor plan as well, in that bedroom 2 and 3 are up front, on one side of the house. Primary is going to be in the back on the other side of the house for privacy. It's just so well thought out. The primary bathroom goes into the closet, goes into the laundry room. So you literally take your clothes from the laundry and right into your closet. So those are my 2 favorite floor plans, but we have some others that are just very functional, very well thought out. You couldn't go wrong with any of them, honestly.
Yeah, no, the Denali was, you guys have Westwood Landing, Westport Homes. That was your model. They're in Whitestown, Zionsville, highly disputed territory.
Yes.
Residents, depending on who you talk to.
That's right.
Down at Whitestown address, Zionsville schools. And yeah, I love, I don't feel like double-sided fireplaces come up very often, but it's nice that view is part of the kitchen and creates kind of an intimate dining experience, but then still get a grander living room feature with that. A loft in that particular floor plan is huge as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that your favorite ranch is about that size of square footage. I feel like that's a very good size with a good amount of longevity, where I feel like people who if there's multiple people living in the home, I don't feel like it takes a lot for that to start to feel cramped compared to your 1,200 square foot. So, okay. Well, with new construction right now, various builders have pre-built homes and created what's called spec homes. Are you guys allowing, if somebody walks in, the ability to customize homes, or are all of your homes spec houses?
Yes, great question. So just because of the demand, the business model is we call them quick move-ins. So yeah, so we always have a backlog of production of homes that are slated to be built, we have like a 13-stage process of building. 13 is you're closed, 0, there's not a shovel in the ground yet, right? And so we have markers throughout the building stage, and we can sell a home once there's a shovel in the ground. So when dirt's moved, we can tell a prospect, okay, this is the house that is going to be built on this home. We can check our system. We know everything that's going to be programmed in that home. We can show the color packages, or find another home with that color package, if not in our own community, in one of our other several communities that we could send them to walk through so they could get a better visual of what that home's going to look like when it's finished.
Sure. So if a buyer walks in and doesn't like the floor or the cabinet style, like, do they have any ability to make changes to that, or is what's on the paper what's going to happen?
Yes. So changes can't really be made once cabinets are installed or flooring's installed. There's a very, very, very small window for any changes because it's very costly because we have purchasing already, taking that home that's programmed, that's built on paper and already, ordering product for that home. So it's really hard to make those changes. But if somebody tells me they love this house and they love XYZ, but I want a white quartz countertop, it's like, hold on. So we can go into our system and try to find that for them.
I would say it's, from my experience, the greatest chance of making any modifications to a production house that's going to be designed will, I mean, generally speaking, the industry standard is that you make any revisions at the time of when you're putting that purchase order together and signing the contract, because once the shovel goes in the dirt, so to speak,
Still a little different. I'm sorry. I think we had a lag there. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I missed you. I lost you at purchase order. I had a pause. I thought you were waiting for me. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Yay, internet.
Yeah.
My question or my comment was that generally once you submit a purchase order, or you as a buyer sit down and sign the contract of this is what all is going to be in the house, the shovel goes in the dirt, and after that the builder does not want to make any changes. Generally that's the expectation. And for a while there was no flexibility among builders to modify that. Would you say that that is true today still with DR Horton, or do you have a little bit of flexibility? And if so, what does that window look like?
So I'm going to almost go kind of a different direction because most of our buyers are not coming to us right at that sweet spot, right? The home is probably at a stage 5 or farther along, usually 10, 11, 12, most times when buyers are coming to us, most times, not always.
Yeah.
So they are seeing, they're close to their finished, their finishes. What color is their quartz? What color is their cabinets, their flooring, that type of thing. And even if it is at a 5 or something, there's just no opportunity because again, that product's already in line to be purchased. So, if I have a customer come to me and the dirt's just moved, I'm going to try to advocate. I'm going to ask. I'd rather ask and know than not ask than never know. But the chance is pretty slim.
Yeah. So I would say, just like Davonne said, if you see something you want to make changes, ask, but hold that outcome very loosely. Because like she said, like it just depends on where they're at in the stage, and especially the farther into completion, the less likely they are to have that accommodation. And I think a big part of that is people don't realize how much time it takes to get things ordered and shipped and all of that. And you guys have probably got contracts in place for, things like windows or buying in bulk to save money and also guarantee shipping dates so that you're keeping everything on schedule. So we've talked a lot about the community. We've talked a lot about floor plans. At the time of recording this video, how many different spec homes do you have available or have coming up?
Oh, well, so it's always interesting because we have so many that are released, and then we have some that are in production that aren't yet released. But the cool thing is if somebody says to me, like I said, like, oh, but I want dark cabinets or I want whatever, I can go into the system and see what's not been released, and try to find that house with that package in. And even though it's not released,
Mm.
I'm still able to get that released and to be able to sell it. I'm not really sure when you're going to be airing this. We're like at the tail end of our red tag sales event that we hold quarterly. Some really great opportunities there. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What is a red tag sales event?
It's just our way to create some excitement and offer some nice discounts on homes and some promotions as well. Yep, we gotta hang on.
All right, guys, we're good now. Davonne had a family walk in earlier and she let them tour and then wanted to reconnect with them before they left. So sorry for the hodgepodge of recordings for today. But Davonne is going to finish talking about the red tag sales event.
Yes.
And then DR Horton Mortgage. So
yes, yeah. So we have red tag sales in all our communities through October 22nd. So just some really nice discounts, create some excitement on some homes, and just provide a really great opportunity. And in addition to that, we have DHI mortgage. So as you know, Jessica, hedge rates have really crept up there. Certainly historically, not huge, but what we've been used to lately, it's a little bit of a shock for a lot of people, or a big shock. But the great news with working with a builder is not only do you not have, multiple offer situations or things like that, the benefits of working with a builder is our affiliated mortgage company, again, DHI. So we have some really great opportunities for builder buy down rates. And then that's when my keep it light. My loan officer partner is amazing. She's been in the business a long, long time. So I call her my finance fairy. So, I give the basic information about financing and, what that looks like. And then I hand off people to her to do a full, big picture view of their credit. And then with her expertise, she guides people to the best loan product that's going to work best for them and their financial goals and situations. So, but yeah, we have government rates, conventional rates, we offer VA, and in some of our communities, there's even USDA opportunities as well. So, some things have, credit scores tied to them or a certain amount of down payment. But again, just some incredible low interest rates.
Yeah, that's great. Now I have 2 questions around that. So I've seen this company shall remain nameless, advertising like 5% for interest rates. And, you go to inquire about it and it's like, oh, we ran out of loans available with that rate. So it's kind of like a bait and switch. And if you can't speak into this, that's okay. Cause I know this isn't your lane as a mortgage person. You're a sales rep. So, with what you do know or are aware of, have you seen anything like that happen with DR Horton where, and maybe advertising lower rates is different than a rate buy down? So
great question, kind of getting into the weeds, but I'll share with you what I know. So I can't speak for anybody else, but I can speak for what we do. There are, in some of the programs, because they are very expensive to the builder to buy down, there is only a limited number of those. But we tell the customer up front, we do explain, this is why it's urgent that you get online, you fill out the loan app, have our loan officers get in contact with you, because really in some of those lower ones, it really and truly is a situation where there's only so many funds to buy those down. But we're very upfront about that.
Okay. And then are you guys offering any free refinances after closing?
Well, at this point in time, there would be no reason to refinance because we've got lower rates than hedge. but
Mhm.
most of the time the mortgages are going to be sold rather quickly.
Okay. And that makes sense. I mean, I don't mean to sound like double dipping there, but
Yeah, right.
for buyers who can't take advantage of the lower rate for whatever reason, are you doing anything on the refinance side?
I don't see any reason, and again, I would defer to my loan officer, but I don't see any reason. I mean, unless somebody's got some credit repair that needs to happen, um, there, there's really not much of a reason that somebody couldn't get into one of our buy down rates. And with that being said, one of our loan officers runs a credit app. They talk to them. They see things that they're just not really healthy or in a good place. We have a really great program. It's called HBC, Home Buyers Club. So we actually have a program to help people get to a better place to be able to buy. And it literally is a true program. Like, they sign up for it. They have to take steps and some classes and things like that to get them to a place, because we certainly, don't want to put anybody in a position that wouldn't be good for them. So yeah, so I don't see any reason why they would have to pay a hedge rate in the first
Yeah.
place.
No, it's okay. Okay, so let's back up to the red tag sales event. What current promotions do you have right now? I know that sale is ending soon. Do you see anything coming, or are you aware of anything coming for the holidays?
Oh, wow. Well, basically the red tag sales event, just are discounted homes. Management picks, some homes and highlights them and offers, a deeper discount type of thing. And as far as anything coming up, I really have no knowledge of anything like that.
Okay, that's all right. And then you think you mentioned you have section 4 coming and
Mhm.
you're still waiting on those details to be released?
Yes.
Okay. So for those who are interested in moving into the Fairwood community or would like to learn more about it, what's the best way to get in touch with you or to potentially get put on a wait list to be notified for when that section becomes available?
Yeah. So reaching out to me is best. Text is best, 614-975-9507. That's going to be the best. And geez, I lost what I was going to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So while Fairwood is my home, let's say, I can help anyone in any DR Horton community throughout Greater Indianapolis, and we have some new communities coming as well. Sheridan, we have 2 newer ones in Danville, some down near Greenwood. We're just kind of opening up new communities pretty much everywhere. So again, I would love to help any of your buyers or any buyer in general, anywhere I could with DR Horton. And then just some other things too, some things that set us apart as well, not only with the DHI mortgage, but we use a product called Zip, the Zip system. I think you might be aware if people are driving around new communities and might see this green stuff. That is actually a very innovative moisture air barrier that adds strength to the home and improves energy efficiency, lowers your fuel costs, that type of thing. All of our homes have an energy rating. And then we also use a really unique deco lighting system. It's actually really pretty cool. I know I sent you some flyers on that, but that all can be part of our smart home package that we include with every home. So the deco lighting, you'd have a smart light and you can build from that. And it's very, very cool. So you don't even have to hardwire a dimmer switch. You pop off the plate, pop off a square application, pop it on the dimmer or a motion detector. You don't need an electrician. You don't need to hit your breaker. You don't have to worry about getting shocked. You literally just plug it in. It's like a plug and play kind of thing. So lighting, your doorbell camera, your thermostat, everything can be controlled from a smart app on your phone. And then we also hardwire for a security system as well. So, and then you get an Eco Dot, and from the, again, from that app, it just all kind of can work together for that true smart home. And, for the real techie people, they can, even after they close, they can upgrade a bunch of things and go crazy with that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's nice that it's all built in. I've definitely seen things like that on Instagram with people who are renovating their homes. And I think the favorite with that is like wall sconces, where you're looking to add additional lighting, but don't want to be putting holes in your walls, and it's expensive to run electrical for something like that. So it's neat to see more lighting products become available that are accessible for consumers and very user friendly to improve or to add value to. Not saying that that's what that is, but just very user friendly, I think, on that. So is there anything else tips wise that you want to leave our audience with?
Well, here is something definitely that I'm not sure if you're aware of. So in my previous life in another state, I was a realtor as well. And the really cool thing for me, from an integrity standpoint, is that DR Horton is extremely realtor friendly. We love our realtors. We totally believe in realtor partnerships. When others were cutting realtors' commissions, we've never done that. And I'm very proud of that. As I said, being a previous realtor in another state. And we have a really great superhero agent program to reward our realtors as well. Because we believe that partnership is so important, and everybody deserves to be represented as well. So it's a win-win-win for everyone.
Well, thank you for that. And I do remember the builders who were slashing commissions during COVID. And I'm very slow to assign, or I try to be very understanding of another entity's business practices, but when it came down to it, a lot of those compensation adjustments were primarily from greed. And I was very, I definitely won a lot of brownie points to see ethically how some builders chose to respond by slashing commissions when they had the upper hand, and others who said, we're going to actually pay you more. And I think that that's very telling when, anybody can say they're a partner, but how you treat one another in the hard times or when you have the upper hand says everything about your character. And I think it's less about like what I'm getting paid as a realtor. Like it's the last thing I think about. But you ask any realtor that question, most of them will say that. And a lot of that's because I don't think the average consumer knows this, but most people who are in real estate are in it as a second career and used to be nurses and teachers. Before you throw stones at a career that, is known for raking in money, which the average salary in real estate is like $39,000, by the way. Not saying that's for the top agents, but just, hammering on this because there's the side of like, we really do have a heart to serve. And then you have these NAR lawsuits and people needing to understand better our value, why we are worth what we're being paid. And I think when you have lawsuits on the table and companies that claim to be partners slashing what you're compensated, but still, I would say from a consumer point of view, think about being told you're going to do the same amount of work, but you're going to take a pay cut.
Right.
And you can choose to walk away and get no money at all, or you just suck it up and deal with it. And, we all, do things we don't want to do sometimes, but, I just, I wouldn't say that compensation rate necessarily makes me sell one home more than another, because you're going to do what's best for your client and what they feel is great. But I think my point in all of this is, I felt like it spoke volumes about, when times get tough, how are they going to treat me as an agent? And therefore, when things get tough for my client, if a client has problems after closing, that's a gesture of how they're going to be treated. Now, I can't say that that's true or proven, but that was what was subtly communicated to me, intended or not, through that in the last few years.
Right. It's definitely a principle and integrity issue.
Yeah.
Like,
And it shouldn't be complicated, but
right. No,
well, thank you, Davonne, for taking time to do this today. If anyone has any questions about building with D.R. Horton at the Fairwood community, or others, if you really resonated with Davonne's personality today, her contact information will be available in the description of this video or on D.R. Horton's website. And as a legal disclaimer, you are welcome to work with any builder. You are welcome to work with any lender. And any of the details discussed today are subject to change as days pass. So certainly refer to the new and current information on the builder's website. Davonne, thank you so much.
Jessica, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you everybody for watching and dealing with our hiccups today. I mean, Davonne's just selling real estate. So, you know, she's a rock star.
Awesome. Thank you. As are you. Thanks.